Hey there, Bremelorians. This episode is a little different from our usual format. I had the opportunity to sit down and chat with Alison and Ian, who own Vulca's Mediterranean Market, about their business and what it's been like moving into their new space in the Dietz Building. It's a mashup of some Bremerton history, some ancient history, and of course, some food. I'm still getting the hang of my field recorder, so the audio is a little unbalanced, but I hope you enjoy it. Stick around till the end, because Alison and Ian have some questions that they are hoping that you, my dear listeners, might be able to help them answer. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves for the listeners?
Hi, I'm Ian Logan.
And I'm Alison Slow-Loris.
And you are the owners of?
Vulca's
Mediterranean Market.
The business name is actually the Smug Etruscan LLC, because we have a thing about Etruscans.
Are they all smug?
They were very smug.
The Greeks thought they were. The Greeks hated them because as the Greek trading empire in the Mediterranean was fading, the Etruscan one was growing.
And they let their women do things like sit at banquets.
Oh my.
Yeah,
Yes.
Greek wives had to stay
Shocking.
home. They brought courtesans to the banquets. The Etruscan women sat with their husbands.
You're Ian and you're Alison. So who is Vulca?
Well, Vulca is one of the few historical figures from the Etruscan era of whom there's any record. The Etruscans didn't leave a lot of writing. What they left was mostly like carved in stone. And so nobody's entirely sure how to count to 10 or they're often referred to by historians as the mysterious Etruscans. And when there's a question that they don't know the answer to, they say it's just another Etruscan mystery.
Ah.
But,
So,
Vulca,
anyway.
Vulca is an artist whose name we do know. He did a terracotta sculpture statue of Apollo, which I think it was atop a temple. And it's a very dynamic, striding Apollo, unlike those very static Greek, statues. It's terracotta, so you have to imagine the arms because they
Right,
fell
of
off
course.
2,000 years ago.
The thing about the Etruscans is that they buried their dead in painted tombs, which we've seen, and the tombs are painted with scenes of banquets and of
Hunting.
birds and beasts, and people dancing, people wrestling, people making love, people eating, people drinking, and they clearly loved life, they loved their food, and they loved art. And we have no quarrel with any of that. So when we met, Ian was still a grad student in classics, and he'd been fascinated by the Etruscan people. And I became fascinated too.
How did you guys decide to open Vulca's?
Well, I did this work in Seattle at a couple of different stores, wholesale, retail, all sorts of areas for about 20 years altogether.
And meanwhile, I just shopped for and cooked and ate and loved all kinds of Mediterranean food. And when Ian got a job in Seattle and didn't in Bremerton and didn't have to commute anymore, then we were able to do it. I had a very flexible job as a caregiver that let me come downtown and potter around in the middle of the day. And
this is not selfless. I think we may be our best customers, but we gambled that other people besides us wanted these things without a ferry ride to Seattle.
We weren't sure that we've quickly become a known and loved part of the downtown business community.
Oh, yeah.
We can't go anywhere with people stopping us on the street saying, when are you going to be open? Or could I just duck in and get a jug of olive oil? And the answer is usually yeah.
We'll find a way.
Oh, I'm dying for one of those little the sesame bars that you usually have on the front counter, and the cheese, the scarmoza cheese that's usually in the fridge.
Yes, yes.
I love that. What are some of the things that you guys love best that you carry in the store that you think folks should try?
I love olives. There's so many kinds of olives. A lot of our olives are Greek. Some of our stuffed olives are Spanish. And we get some olives from Lebanon through a Lebanese family that runs a business in Mason County. And of course, olive oil and tinned seafood.
Tinned seafood, definitely.
And Spanish and Portuguese are mostly the best.
In my white bread upbringing, this is very shocking to say, but some of my favorites are our different zatars, which is usually has sumac and some sort of a Middle Eastern green.
Okay.
It's
thyme is the traditional
thyme
one.
is the most traditional. Wild thyme grows all over the mountains in the Middle East, and people traditionally have eaten a lot of it. They pick it fresh and make salads with it in summer, and dry it or pickle it for eating in winter. But zatar is a very basic condiment all through the Middle East and North Africa, with some member of the thyme family and sumac and sesame seeds. And it's just sprinkled on everything, on bread with olive oil, on any kind of savory dish. We had a lamb salami with zatar for a while. That's fascinating.
I'll have to watch for that one. I've never had zatar.
I think my other surprising one that I really enjoy are our different harissas.
Yeah, harissa is, again, a Middle Eastern and North African hot sauce. It's
very hot.
Hot peppers and probably a little vinegar. The unusual ingredient in it is caraway seeds.
Caraway.
Yeah, and you don't notice it as caraway, but it's just a different flavored red pepper sauce.
So you guys are currently sort of between locations right now.
Well, we're definitely in our current location. We're just not open yet.
Okay. What prompted the move?
We wanted more space. In our new location, we will have we have a deli case in which we will offer some grab and go things, sandwiches, vegan, gluten-free Mediterranean platters, and things like stuffed grape leaves and olives and hummus.
Well, that sounds
something different for downtown lunch crowd.
Yeah.
And our new neighbors, El Balcon, they are thrilled about us coming in, offering different food right next door to them. They said the more different things we have down here, the better we all do.
So what drew you to the space that you're going to be opening in now?
All those windows.
It's right on the corner. It's got room we have a couple of good-sized tables so people can sit down and eat if they want. It's just a nice big space. It's a handsome old building. It's right next to Quincy Square, and we're already loving that. And Quincy Square is exciting, and it's never empty.
I noticed that when we were on our way down today. We cruised down 4th for the first time since it's been open, and there's kids on there playing the xylophone.
The weekends have been even better. It's been closed the last couple for events, and that's been fantastic. It's almost like an Italian piazza.
Some people are proposing that it be closed to through traffic every weekend.
Speaking of that handsome old building, it is indeed like a historic building, right? I saw some of the pictures on Facebook. Have you learned a lot about that building?
Well,
not as much as we want to, but quite a bit. Alison has learned quite a bit.
It was built in 1915. It was named after Charles Dietz, who had been dead a few years by then, but he was kind of one of the founding fathers of the city. Mm-hmm. The building, it's gone through a lot of different hands. It's currently owned by the Cray family. Our location on the corner for most of its history that we can find out, was a drugstore. By the early 30s, it was Jameson Diamond Drugs. Later in the 30s, it became Olberg's Drugs, and it was Olberg's Drugs until the mid-70s, when they closed and Booth's Drugs moved across the street to take over the space until the mid-80s. And during the drugstore era, it had a large mezzanine. We're not taking the whole space that the drugstore had. There's been a new wall constructed about 38 feet back from the front, but the premises extended further. There was a beauty parlor in the mezzanine and a lunch counter underneath it. And I think through all the different, I know I was trying to get people to tell me more on different Bremerton Facebook groups. And several people remembered having lunch at Olberg's or at Booth's. And one woman remembered as a teenager working at the lunch counter at Booth's. But after they moved out, it was empty for a bit. And then the most mysterious business that I can find the least about, and I'm hoping that maybe some of your listeners will have more info. In the mid-90s, it was an all-ages dance club called the Zoo Cafe. I don't know how long, but during the Zoo Cafe era, the mezzanine was still there, but as one person who now works with Discordia Games says, it was very scary.
Oh.
So he was actually glad to know that the mezzanine had been pulled down because it looked like it was going to make its own way down. But there's a column in the center of our space, and there used to be two big kind of human-sized papier-mâché dragons attached to the column, bolted to the column. So when they were taken down, they didn't do too well. I mean, getting those bolts out.
They're under the weather.
They're still lying.
They're in the back.
In the back. Yeah, those dragons are the last remnant of the Zoo Cafe.
Really the only remnant. As she said, it's this great mystery.
It is. It's almost the Etruscan.
It's vexing.
I think that might have been there for a couple years. The only thing I've been able to find out about it, besides that the dragons date from there, is that no doubt Gwen Stefani played there in the 90s when they were doing like college dance tours before they made it.
How interesting.
Yeah. I've gone on the Pacific Northwest Music Archives group on Facebook, and nobody remembers anything because they're really all about Seattle and Portland.
And after that, it was Discordia Gaming.
Was there from 99 to 01.
And you're sure they didn't install the dragons? Because I hear they're into Dungeons
because
and
one of
Dragons.
It was a natural
one of the
fit.
current employees or co-owners of Discordia did come and talk to us. And he said he remembers the dragons, and they're from Zoo Cafe. They're over on Callow now, and they moved over there in 2001.
We think that's the last.
That was the last retail business in the space.
I would look at that space, and I kind of lusted after it. Like I say, all those windows. I think it's one of the best 2 or 3 intersections in town.
Prime real estate right there.
Thing
just
is,
empty.
there's so many fine old buildings downtown. I'm 77, so I remember a lot of history. And the mall era killed pretty much all of America's downtowns. A lot of downtown businesses were large regional or national chains. Things like Penny's, and they all moved to the mall, and all these buildings were empty. And a lot of them a lot of the downtown storefronts have stayed empty. Some of them are kind of beyond recall.
Yeah.
We looked at a lot of places when we decided that we wanted to move when our lease was up. See, our first location was in the building that had been Amy Burnett's gallery. And I think she had a lot of the building upgraded during the many years that she owned it. And then, of course, it was closed during the pandemic, and then she decided to sell it. So the new landlords, fixed up, so divided it into different suites. And we took the small one because we thought we could afford it, and it was a good place to start. They've just a new art gallery is in there now.
Oh, is there something new in there?
Yeah,
They just opened
for Art
on
Walk.
First Friday.
Very nice.
It's a Native American artist named Lindley Logan. Another Logan. And
No relation?
No relation.
No
But
relation.
that we know
were
of.
in there strolling around for the opening, and I couldn't believe we'd ever been in a space that small.
Yeah, we've gotten used to the new digs.
Enormously high ceilings and our big space. So we've got a lot more furniture in there.
Sounds like it's going to be quite the upgrade.
It's going to be something. I think it'll be special.
You guys hope to be open?
When we are ready.
Well, see, there's the electricity. An HVAC system just got installed, but the wiring for that isn't done yet, and that should be happening this week.
Once the electrical is done, that has to be inspected. And then we have a little more work that we have to have inspected. And then we can close everything up and put some shelves up. And
see, the place was just gutted. Aside from the mezzanine coming down, everything, there were probably like display windows. Everything was just ripped out. And we also have a volunteer-produced tile mosaic pavement that's going in front of the front door.
Ooh.
There was a depression in the concrete with a metal edge around it. And I looked at it and I said, okay, once upon a time that was some kind of tile. It might have been marble. It might have been the sort of things you can see in old downtowns with a street number or whatever. So we need to tile this. The mosaic is sitting there in a crate waiting to be installed probably next weekend.
probably as soon as we know there's no heavy traffic, lifts going in and out for a while.
It's got waves and fish at the bottom and flowers and kind of scrolled around. And Vulca spelled out in letters that I thought were going to be solid black, but they're black outline filled in with little multicolored tiles.
It is
and that's
gorgeous.
Going to be, it's like 6 feet across. It's going to be right in front of our front door.
It's going to be the envy of most other storefronts, I think.
I think it is. It sounds gorgeous.
It's amazing.
There's a place in Italy, Ostia Antica, Old Ostia. It used to be the seaport for Imperial Rome until things silted up and the actual ocean was several miles further up the river. So since it wasn't the port anymore, it just got silted over with sand. And when they dug it up, they found all these streets full of shops. You know, the walls were somewhat broken, but there's a mosaic pavement in front of every shop with sea monsters and dolphins and so on. But then, you know, mosaic picture of what they sold there, like coils of rope or bunches of wheat, all the provisions for a seaport.
The biggest is the Piazza della Corporazione, the piazza of the companies.
Mm-hmm.
Mosaics everywhere. You'll see a mosaic with an elephant, and you say, they were trading with North Africa.
Interesting.
So anyway, all these ancient Roman shops had a mosaic pavement at their front door, and so do we.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So that's all waiting for us, but you know, all those ragged window frames. We've had the most fabulous volunteer carpenter. When there's something interesting going on in an old downtown building, he shows up and volunteers. And
that's how he gets
with all his many, many bags of tools and all his expertise. And we were able to bring some of the artwork. See, this has been part of our passion from the beginning, is the food and the art. We've in our 3 years at the first place, we bought a lot of local artwork and have hung it. And toward the end of our stay, actually hosted a 1-month show, one painter's work. And in the new space, we have a gallery wall reserved. That's probably about 14 feet wide by most of the height, except for where the HVAC blowers are.
That's going to be huge.
So we're gonna have a monthly art show.
That's great.
Artist. And we have a lot of friends that are in line already. But
Yeah, there's a queue.
When I see people at other, cafes or so on around town, if I like their work, I can get in touch. We will be having a grand opening celebration when we know our opening date.
Okay.
We had Mandy at Bigfoot, the record store, made some buttons for us with our image with the leopards. We have these golden leopards that are art from an Etruscan tomb that a local artist painted on the walls in our first location. And she's painted them on canvas panels for us to hang in the new store. But they've just kind of become part of our branding. So we have some buttons with Vulcas and the leopards that we'll hand out to the first 200 people. And we'll have some specials and we'll have some samples.
Well, first 180 or 90, I think we've given a few away already.
I've only given away a few. Just to some of the people. So many people helped us move.
It sounds like you guys really enjoy connecting your community with food and with art and with all of these wonderful and fulfilling things in life.
We do. It's the Etruscan ethos.
Yeah.
We love life, we love food, and we love art.
And our community.
On our community. And we do, we love our community. We've always tried to connect with other downtown businesses, and they in turn have been good to us. We posted on Facebook that one of our coolers was acting up, and one of the owners at Beyond Karaoke said, "Hey, I used to do HVAC," and he came over and started tinkering with our cooler. And I said, what can we pay you? And he said, "Oh, pay me in cheese."
Oh.
And we did.
What a deal.
Yeah. We've loved being part of the downtown business community, and we really love now being part of making more of the commercial space downtown active again. All the pains we've gone through in that space are worth it because we've reclaimed something that was taken out of downtown Bremerton's commercial space. We brought it back.
It's like you're making her whole again.
We're helping.
I think some of the most fun we've had doing business in a unique, independent downtown business is people coming in saying, "I used to live in Bremerton. All right, I grew up in Bremerton. I left for 10 years, 20 years, 40 years. Now I'm back. And it's changed so much for the better." And, what we've got going on downtown now is really lively. The downtown that's coming back, the Renaissance, is all independent. And it's all unique businesses. The America of, 75, 100 years ago, our downtowns were small businesses, owner-operated. People knew each other. They knew their customers by name. Their customers knew them by name. I think we're coming back to that now.
So, did you ever go dancing at the Zoo Cafe? Did Gwen Stefani really perform in downtown Bremerton? Did you eat lunch at the drugstore counter or have your hair done up in the mezzanine beauty salon? If you have any stories from 328 Pacific Avenue in the Dietz Building, we want to hear it. Call the Bremelore Tip line and tell me your story. The phone number is 360-726-3248. There's also a link in the show notes for you. I've also included some links to the local artists that they mentioned, Lindley B. Logan and Danny Gray, and some interesting articles about the mysterious Etruscans, if you'd like some ancient history.